This is your host, Joe Saz, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about the drop that just went down earlier this morning, late last night, for some of you. And yeah, let's get into all that. But before we do, I just want to say, everyone, first off, thanks so much for all you who tune in, and I really want you guys to be going to the website and joining the Discord channel, because that's going to be one of the places where I can communicate when I'm not online, or at least not streaming. It's like the easiest thing for me to be able to answer messages there, and share some screenshots from my phone or whatever if I'm on the run. So yeah, everyone, I just encourage you to join the Discord community. It's built to have a good time as well. So hopefully we can all be chilling in there and communicating effectively. So on that note, I will get into some discussion here as to what's gone down. We have a pretty steep crash here. After the weekend, we had I'm going to get rid of this line. I don't know why it keeps staying on the screen. We had a nice steady weekend, as expected. A little bit of action before the weekly open, which does post a little bit of candle information on the Sunday night. So there was some chop going on. And then this last evening, we went into a free fall mode. Last evening around 8 p.m. New York time, we went down from 26.5 down to 26 flat. Looks like we didn't breach 26,000. Low 26 flat. Yeah, low was 26.0. And we have found ourselves some support down there. A lot of support down there, and clearly it was much stronger this time around than the time where we flashed pumped out of the danger zone over here. Flash pump out, didn't just did it so far so fast that we had no liquidity chasing the book, and ultimately ended up back where we started. I'm actually happy to see something like this. In appearance, it looks very solid. What we had was a slow, steady grind out of a very bearish territory. Higher lows, higher highs, a little bit of danger, well, sideways. And we actually went sideways in the same horizontal range that we'd spent time, what appears to be last weekend as well. So we're building our baby steps out of here. This was a very depressing, crushing area down here. It was just very bad on the psychology of investors. And for us to be climbing out is not only suggestive that that psychology is shifting, but it's also positive in the sense that we are now constructing a legitimate price discovery argument that Bitcoin isn't going below 25K type of behavior. It's not going to 20K. All you people that missed the boat in January, you're fucked. You got to buy now. And that's very much the psychology we see here. So I'm optimistic that this run may continue all the way up to somewhere above 28,000 before really taking a spill in the opposite direction, back to 25, back to maybe even threaten some of those 20K lows or something like that. I'm not saying that those are off the table, but I am saying that for now, the psychology is strong in the sense that 25K range is looking like a good buy. And if we can keep people convinced, a small number of people or a large number of people convinced, doesn't matter how big the size is. What matters is the money, right? And as long as we can keep the incoming money convinced that that 25K was it, that was your last chance, that was the equivalent of your 20K in January, then the longer we can hold this line, the more likely we will be to move up in price pretty far, pretty fast, and then set a new level, which would be a bottom, maybe in the 30Ks. That'll be as painful as a 25K grind, right? And 25K really isn't a painful grind compared to where we were earlier this year. So, but it really did feel that way. So that's what time does to price action. Time really makes you think about some of the more short-term stuff. We really felt that 25K bleed. That was very painful. A lot of people were probably nuked in liquidations. A lot of people felt like we were going lower, and 25K was still a decent range relative to 17, 20, 21, 3, 20, whatever, every step on the way up there. Yo, Big Ugly. Great to see you, Bitcoin motorist and Big Ugly. Um, so I will comment on that. Tried a long last night. I do like the long that I see on the page here. Clearly it's a long with a lot of support, consistent signals. Maybe not three overlay, right? Three band overlay would be the 1 to 2.5, the 2.5 to 5, and the 5 to 10 band signals lighting up. But what I see here is a very strong, consistent set of signals in a range that's been tested fairly recently, and we have had time to stack liquidity in the book. So I think this was a good trade. Clearly, it's in the money now. So is it how long will it stay that way? That's a whole nother question. And we're still pretty fresh into this, and I think a full retrace is in order. What I do prefer to see is a full retrace and change, which is just a little bit of a extra boost on top of that retrace. So to point it out on the screen here, I would say a move up to here even. Beat these wicks, a local high, and then maybe resolve down here a bit, but a run and change, and that'll give the buyers a lot of confidence to start stacking their orders back up here and through this area, right? Because all the people that didn't get these orders filled, they're thinking that price will come back down here again. So now traders and investors will start placing their limit orders along this slope here somewhere in the price action down here even. And they'll hope to get a fill down there. They'll almost expect it. And that's the book building liquidity, building legitimate price discovery, and saying, yeah, this is a good buy. This is where it's at. We just hit that range and we popped up a few $100. I'm going to play that for as long as it lasts, right? So we need as much of that type of liquidity as possible. And what good it'll do is it'll start to build us a platform to stand on to say, okay, this was a floor. This was a price floor. Well, we hit it. We stood there for a month at 25K and change, right? We're now talking month 2 of all this since we had the straight down crash, I should say, from 29 or 30, whatever it was, straight down to 26, which was absolutely nasty. Almost, in my book, a black swan event. I consider it a black swan event. Maybe not. It's a black swan event with an asterisk. So, excuse me, guys, still a little sick. So, yeah, I think it's good for us. Even though we took the elevator down, it's unfortunate that we've taken the elevator down, haven't had that immediate spring back into the 29,000 range. And this is traditionally a Bitcoin thing. Excuse me, guys. Should have muted my mic there for a sec. Hold on. All right. So, it would have been we had the crash in mid-August, I think, and we didn't snap right back up. We took the elevator down and we tried to take the elevator back up, and it didn't work. Now we're taking the elevator down and the stairs back up, and that's very much something that Bitcoin does. And at times of extreme emotion, it's elevator and then stairs. Um, in a raging bull market, it's elevator up. Maybe some rips down south, 20-30% pullbacks, but anyways, this is a classic scenario of the elevator down and the stairs back up. And even though it's going to take longer, it's going to be more grueling. There's still going to be a lot of good trades in there. For example, the one that we see on screen here in the last crash. There's going to be tons of good opportunities to make trades. So just, it's times like this where you remember that you can't get married to a position for too long. As a trader, it's important to believe in your position and believe in yourself and so forth. But it's important to trade like a trade is a one night stand sometimes, That's what a stop loss is for. To prepare for that eventuality, that a stop loss is that the date may go south and she may be a freaking liberal and you gotta fucking bail on that shit. She might have blue hair when you first meet her and 3 kids, shit, man, that's bail. So 100% trades, not all trades are marriage material. In fact, when you're talking Bitcoin, that's like That's like marrying an OnlyFans girl. Getting into a long-term position with Bitcoin is like marrying an OnlyFans girl. It's probably going to end in disappointment. It's going to be an extremely volatile position. It's probably going to run against you at some point, and you'll probably end up getting liquidated. So make sure to set your stop losses, and make sure to set your mind in the mentality that when I enter a position, I need to be ready to bail out under any circumstance, particularly at a loss, but especially in the game. So this is a good position for now. We could be playing the stairs up for a long time. The stairs do include as a general tip for trading the recovery like that. Sometimes it's going to be 2 steps up and 1 step back. It might be 3 steps up and 2 steps back. It's going to be wild, but this is how we rebuild price discovery after spending a month at 25,000 range. It's probably going to look like that for some time. Knowing where we are in the year too. We're hitting the end of September right now. We're walking into October. We got a few months left on the year. We don't know if this is crypto winter or what. We don't really know much. We know a halving is coming in May of next year. We're not far away from the halving. Just a number of months away. So it would be good for Bitcoin to be at about 30 to 35K at the halving. If we can get there, then I think we're okay. I think I think our 6-figure new all-time high in the year 2024, early 2025 is looking real good. So yeah, what's up, Pim? Yeah, motorist, thank you for the concern. And I'm staying hydrated and no smoking. No drinking alcohol, no smoking liquor or smoking shit. My head's still a little fuzzy, guys. All right, so excuse me. All right, let's see. Still accumulating sats before the halving. Yeah, that's definitely the right mentality. I know I'm kind of jumping around at a few things here, but we'll keep moving unless you guys have a question for me, because just gonna kind of move it along. We do have a Bitcoin daily chart, a pretty bad wick to the downside, kind of glancing off the top end of this horizontal range here, where we settled after the dump back down. We had a lower point where we settled just below the 26,000s. Interestingly enough, this kind of turned into a not so death crossy cross. I mean, it will be by definition a death cross, but it's kind of angled up, so intermediate term moving average kind of sweep back around and recover quickly. It's interesting. We're still floating in outer space right now, but it just means that the 50 is going to be a lot more easy to rest on top of, even as it's curling down here, still running downhill. We pop up, hold the 50 probably soon in the next number of days. I guarantee you we're going to pop up above this 50. Might not even be that crazy looking. It might just be because the 50 is running down so fast. Supported, and then we can, do some stuff to the upside. I don't think we'll need to support the 50-day moving average down here anymore. So that's the daily. I need to change this chart around. But while we're here, we actually had a number of crosses flipping and flopping with the intermediate and long-term moving average. And we also have, so we're floating not quite in outer space as we are on the daily. But just some observations on the 4-hour while I'm here. I'll have to switch this back to CME gaps. And something like silver on the 4-hour looks like it's probably going, oh, whoops. Okay, no big deal. I just like to look at silver for my kind of market-wide understanding. Safe haven asset that isn't gold at all-time highs. And a lot of support, a lot of resistance. It looks like it's in a channel, but looks like MSR predicts a flip to the downside. So on that note, thank you all so much for tuning in. Always appreciate your love and support. Make sure to do your pushes and sit-ups and stay healthy, everyone. Eat healthy, be strong. And if you want to take any personal lessons or personal sessions, whatever type of trading or Bitcoin education, reach out to me directly. Saz Analytica at gmail.com, or on Telegram, or on the Discord channel. You can find me there. Reach out. Happy to do the personal education sessions, trading, Bitcoin, markets, Saz signals, whatever we're talking. Happy to educate, and join the Discord channel, and just in general, because that's where I want to spend most of my time. As far as a chat app is concerned, there's just a lot of beautiful things that my partner Fabian has done. And speaking of Fabian, he's an algo trader, more of the tech guy. He's the partner that I'm working with as I come back to streaming, and he's the one that built the Discord channel and the website and all these beautiful things. So you guys, we're gonna go live later on today and talk a little bit about his bot. And I'm a by hand trader. I've That's how I always did it, was by hand. In fact, I didn't even have indicators, as many of you know. I didn't have indicators till January of 2020. Everything I was doing was just by looking at the physical order book that you can see on the page in the trade history, as well as the depth chart. Utilizing maybe one indicator, it might have been TD sequential. I learned all the indicators, but when I made a trading decision, it was all order book. So, anyways, we're gonna be doing a stream later, and maybe even a stream every once in a while type thing, but every week or every few days or whatever. But Fabian will also be in the Discord channel, pretty active out there. He'll be covering a lot of that algo talk for a lot of you guys out there that want to get into stuff like that. There's a bot available. Pim lost a lot on a bot. I've seen some bad stuff happen for sure. And yeah, I think bots can do a lot of work for you, and certainly, I mean, trust me, you're not the only person, man. I'm sure there's a lot of mirror trading shit out there, and bad stuff that's happened to a ton of people. Even spot trading. The fact that you even have money on an exchange is dangerous. It's how many times has a liquidation event occurred on one exchange and not the four other main ones, or it's happened on four and not one main. So, anyways, I'm with you. Definitely cross your T's and dot your I's before getting engaged in anything with anything. So, yeah, all right, everyone. We'll wrap this one up. I do appreciate you all again for tuning in here, just chilling with me a little bit. I will go live again later, and yeah, much love to you all. All right, everyone.